Hey all, my name is Aaliyah Tavares, and for those of you who do not know, I am the founder of Fresh Pages Book Club. Fresh Pages was created because I love all things books. I love reading them, I love talking about them. I even love smelling them. Like, the smell of like a new book is just so therapeutic to me. Like, I'm just like, ugh, new characters for me to fall in love with. Like, it's just, if you're a true book fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I am not weird. Um, I just, I wanted an outlet for me to read the same book as a bunch of other women and be able to meet up and talk about and nerd out about everything that we loved or disliked about the book. And so that's why Fresh Pages was born, I guess. And along with Fresh Pages, I also read like 20 books a day. So I wanted to do book reviews on the novels that I'm reading outside of Fresh Pages. And so that's why we're here today. I read If I Never Met You. It is a chick lit romance novel, and it follows a mature woman named Lori who has been in a relationship for 18 years with her partner Dan. And out of nowhere, Dan just decides that the relationship just isn't working for him anymore. He feels like he's lost himself and he just really wants to find himself again. And at this point in the book, like, I understand. I get what he is saying. Like, they live together, they've been together since college, they have the same friends, they go out together. Like, they very rarely, like, aren't together. They even work at the same law firm. So, like, I understood where he was coming from. You know, I understood. And Lori, of course, she didn't understand. This came out of left field for her. You know, like, we're trying to have a baby, and you tell me that you don't want to be in a relationship anymore. How does that work? And so, you know, they continue their conversation, and she finally understands where he's coming from. And in the back of her mind, she's kind of just hoping that, you know, he takes a couple days to himself and he comes back home. So he lets her know, like, hey, you know, we work in the same office. You know, everybody knows us as Lori and Dan. So whenever you're ready to talk about it and let people close to us know that we are no longer together, we can do that. But take your time. And so after that conversation, he waits probably about 3 weeks maybe. And he calls Lori and was like, hey, can I come over and talk? And Lori's like, yeah, bring your ass over here, apologize, and tell me how much you love me, and move your shit back in. Right? But Dan, he lets her know, like, hey, Lori, I have a girlfriend, and I'm gonna move in with her. And I'm just like, how you go from I need time to myself and I need to find myself to I got a new girlfriend and I'm moving in with that bitch. That just don't work out. There's something fishy going on. And I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want to ruin the book for someone who may want to read it. But just know Dan is a piece of shit, and that's that. So we're gonna fast forward to the fake relationship that Lori gets into with Jamie. Jamie is this fine ass man who, you know, is just living life. You know, like, he's just very free and open, and all the women in office love his ass, and all the men in the office can't stand him. What does that tell you? So, and that's all that Lori really knows about him is that, you know, he always has different women. He kind of has, a lot of people feel like they can't trust him for whatever reason, but this man is good at his job. He does what he's supposed to do in office, and his personal life is his personal life. And that's one thing that I didn't really appreciate is that everybody in the office is like, oh, he always has different girlfriends, or oh, he can't be trusted. But it's like, if he does his job every day and he's getting it done and he's great at it, his personal life shouldn't matter. But anyway, so Jamie has been a lawyer for a while, and he's ready to just kind of move up the ladder and make a change. And so he talks to his bosses about becoming a partner. And his bosses are older men who have been married for years. They have children, grandchildren. So for their law firm, they're looking for someone similar. They want someone who's been in a long-term committed relationship that they can take serious. And, they kind of just let him know, like, if you find yourself in a committed relationship, maybe come back and talk to us and we can discuss this further. And so Jamie was like, okay, well, maybe being a partner isn't in the cards for me because I don't see myself being in a long-term committed relationship for a while. And so after Dan lets Lori know, we're going to reverse a little bit, but after Dan lets Lori know that he has a girlfriend, I can't remember exactly how the office found out about the girlfriend, but everybody knows that now Lori and Dan are broken up and he has another girlfriend that he lives with. And so, of course, everybody in the office is like pretending to care about how Lori feels just to kind of get a little bit more information out of her. And, she's not stupid, so she knows exactly what they're doing. Nobody else has ever talked to her and wanted to know about her and Dan before, but now that we're broken up, y'all want to know. She ain't stupid. So she kind of, now at this point, she just comes to work, goes home. She's in and out. She, has to paste on this fake smile to, help her cause. I'm not this sad, depressed woman. I mean, she is, but she ain't at work. She's professional, so she's not going to come to work and be all sad and give these people more things to talk about, I guess. And so one Friday, she's leaving work and she gets on the elevator and it starts to close and she's like, I get to be on this elevator by myself. I don't have to pretend to be happy. I can just be me. But wouldn't you know, somebody sticks a little umbrella in the crack of the elevator and opens it back up. And in walks Jamie's fine ass in his nice trench coat. This man always has on like tailored suits. Like he is always there. From head to toe, he is always fine. Always. And he is a man after my own heart. He wears fake glasses. I just love it so much. But so he walks into this elevator and they both kind of like nod to say hello. But you can tell that they both just had a day and they just want to be on this elevator and not say shit to each other. And so that would be great. That would have happened, but the elevator broke down. And so now Jamie and Lori are stuck in this elevator together. And it takes a few hours before they're able to get out. And so in these hours, they kind of just talk to each other and get to know each other a little bit. And they both kind of realize that they're not who the office says that they are. Lori isn't this sad, depressed woman who's just grieving her ex. And, Jamie isn't this fuckboy who just wants to fuck everybody in the office. He's actually a decent guy who takes his job seriously. And so after a couple hours, they are let out of the elevator and they both kind of linger because neither of them really want to go home, but Lori is going to be like, hey, come to my place and let's get a drink. So she kind of just lets him take the lead, and he does. He's like, okay, Lori, I don't want to go home. You want to go get a drink? And so they go to the local bar and they get drinks and they talk, and she kind of opens up a little bit about Dan and he just listens, and then he opens up a little bit about him wanting to become a partner and, their boss is not really being for it. And so by the end of the conversation, he proposes to Lori like, hey, we both need something, so why don't we pretend to date until the office Christmas party? And he's like, I want to become partner and they're not even going to give me a chance until I'm in a committed relationship. And you're tired of being the office sad, lonely lady. And so in the back of Lori's head, she's like, I want to do this. I want to make Dan jealous. I want him to realize what he's missing out on. And who better to do this with than Jamie? He's fine, and he's younger than me. So Dan is really going to be jealous. And so, but she didn't want to be like super eager. So she lets him know, like, okay, I'll think about it. I'll let you know Sunday. And so at this point in the book, it really starts to turn around. Like, I'm going to be honest, when I was reading it, I contemplated not finishing the book. Like, it was just so sad. There's just so many things that happened to Lori in these first few chapters. I'm just like, how do I keep reading this shit? This is sad. This is depressing. Like, and like, now that I've finished it, like, I appreciate it because like, this is really one of the first books that I've read where it felt real. Like, you know, she broke up with this man that she's been dating for 18 years, and she grieved him like you're supposed to do. You're supposed to grieve things that hurt you. And so it wasn't just, okay, he broke up with me and now I'm healed. You know, we go through the motions with Lori, and then there's other things that happen that, you know, just make this story feel like it's real. And so along the lines of it feeling real, Lori also, after she had that conversation with Jamie, the next day she calls her best friend and was like, hey, you know Jamie from the office, you know, the guy that, you know, is just really attractive, and, you know, that guy. And she tells her best friend about him wanting to pretend to fake date her so that he can become partner, and so that I'm no longer the talk of the office, you know. And her friend's like, no, I don't think that that's a good idea for you. I don't think that you getting out of a long-term relationship and jumping into a fake one with someone like Jamie is a good idea. Like, you need to heal. You need to find out who you are without Dan. You can't just jump into something like that because you could potentially end up hurt. What if you catch feelings for him, you know, and the feelings aren't reciprocated? Then where does that leave you? You know, now you have lost two people. You know, you lost Dan and you lost him, and you didn't give yourself to heal between any of that. And I just really like that conversation, like, because I've read so many romance novels where it's the fake relationship trope, and in all of them it seems like they either had feelings prior, so it's easy for them to jump into this fake relationship and fall in love, or, you know, they're strangers and, you know, they're just matchmates in heaven. And it's just, everyone that I've read like that has been so easy and like almost like a fairy tale love. But here, you know, like, it's not easy. You know, she's grieving, she's sad, and her best friend tells her, no, don't do it. You know, so it's just like, McFarlane did a really good job with pulling out real aspects of life and putting it into the book so that people can relate to these things. You know what I mean? And I just really loved it. And so after she has this conversation with her best friend, of course, she still does whatever she wants to do and gets into this fake relationship with Jamie. And it just creates this big bomb at the office. You know, like, for one, Jamie has never been in a serious relationship, so there's no way that this can be real. Two, Lori just broke up with Dan, so she's just doing this to get back at Dan. You know, so like, there's just so many like speculations going around the office about how, you know, there's no way that this is real. They don't really like each other. They're doing this for another reason. And then there's other people in the office who make it hard for them. And there's just like a lot of things going on in that office that honestly I didn't expect, because for one, it's a law firm. For two, most of these people are in their late 30s, early 40s. So like, there's just a lot of things going on that I didn't expect. And there's read the book before I spoil it. So outside of The Office, you know, Jamie and Lori do a really good job of keeping up the whole fake dating thing. You know, they go on dates and they post pictures on social media, and, you know, they just really make it look good. And what I appreciated about their fake relationship is that they respected each other's boundaries. Like, they never communicated, like, what the fake dating thing would be for them. Like, do we hold hands? Do we kiss? Like, what do we do? Like, they never communicated that with each other. So, like, they both do a really good job at respecting each other's boundaries. Like, they never, like, kiss or hold hands without, like, a mutual decision. So, like, it's what a fake relationship should be. You know, we go on dates, but, like, we don't really hold hands or kiss unless, you know, we have to. You know, like, so, like, it just, again, it felt real. But, like, during this book, you get to know a lot more about Jamie and his traumas, and you get to learn about Lori and her traumas. Like, she has, you know, daddy issues, and, you know, Jamie has a lot of issues in his life that I don't want to get into because I don't want to spoil it, but they're able to talk to each other about it, you know, and kind of just, one, get to know each other on a deeper level and just grow their relationship. And, you know, Lori is just really able to get to know Jamie outside of what everybody else thinks he is. And it's honestly, they really had, to me, they had a beautiful love story. Recently, I've been reading a lot of books where, like, the male character is open about how he feels, and he's able to just describe his feelings and be open and honest. And I just really, really love that. Like, I just feel like more men should do that. And so Jamie's able to do that. He's able to tell Lori, like, hey, you know, this is how I'm feeling, or this is what happened to me, and this is why I am the way that I am. And it spirals out to be, like, this really great love story. And there's a lot packed into this book, and I want you guys to read it. And so my overall review for this book would be a 4 out of 5. And I give it a 4 because the ending, I love this book. There's not much that I would change except for the ending, because the way that they end up, I'm here for. I love it. Great. Yes. But it felt rushed. I'm not even gonna lie. It felt just really, really rushed. I think that if she could have slowed it down, or maybe not took so much time in the beginning, making it so depressing, she would have had more time at the end to kind of dive a little bit deeper into the relationship. It was just rushed to me. That's how it felt. But other than that, like, I think the book was great. And I really hope that after this review, you're like, ooh, I'm about to read that. It sounds great. I hope I did a good job at explaining, you know, what happened and what I liked about the book. But yes, McFarlane, I've only read 2 of her novels. If I Never Met You, and I just finished just last night. And they both kind of have the same feel. Like, it's kind of a little depressing in the beginning, but at the end, like, there's like a light at the end of the tunnel. And I like that. I didn't think I would, but I do. I like it, and I really like McFarlane, and I plan on reading more of her novels. I think I am going to do a review on Just Last Night because it was also a really great book. And I hope you guys like the review, and if you have any suggestions on, you know, what I could do differently next time, or if you want more of the book, just let me know. Comment and talk to me and let me know how you liked it. Thanks for listening, and until next time.